It's not an unknown fact that traveling is expensive, but it's also important to know that certain travel destinations are more costly than others. The world is filled with an endless amount of places to visit, but be sure to do your research before you plan a trip so you can know a range on how much that trip will cost you. If you're wondering about the more expensive vacation destinations, I have rounded up 10 most pricey locations around the world. 10. Tokyo. Tokyo has the largest metropolitan economy in the world and mixes a futuristic cityscape, scores of nightlife and business districts with an impeccably preserved past in the 5 districts of Old Tokyo. With respect to their astonishingly sophisticated gourmet scene, homegrown fashion designers and the other multitude of local cultural industries leading the world, Tokyo is a glimmering example that discipline is art and art is commerce, so it ain't cheap, depending on the neighborhood. The only reason Tokyo isn't higher on this list is because the yen has been weakening against the US dollar. 9. Cancun. Despite being in a relatively inexpensive country to visit and reside in, Cancun is remarkably more costly than the rest of Mexico because of its clout. White sand beaches, turquoise waters, a coastline studded with world-class luxury resorts and tons of ancient tourist attractions like the Mayan ruins, ritual sites, lush jungles and more. That being said, backpackers and hostel hoppers do not tend to hop into Cancun, as a lot of their businesses are built around resort life and a night following the resort life, including hotel, dinner, cocktails and taxi, can get pretty expensive. 8. Copenhagen. With its large number of Michelin-starred restaurants, happening clubs that stay open all night, a wide variety of diverse but no less expensive accommodations, vibrant pedestrian malls both hyper-modern and historic, Copenhagen is certainly more expensive than many other cities. But there are many ways to experience the city on a light wallet, namely buying alcohol in the grocery store and imbibing in a hotel room or in public, or exploring the bohemian neighborhood of Christianshavn. 7. London. London might not rule the world anymore, but it's still one expensive city. The pound is nearly double the rate of the US dollar. If you don't look at the currency symbol next to the numbers, it seems cheap, but it's not. The London Olympics added more to London's infrastructure and drew international attention. And of course, there will never not be Anglophiles flooding into the Tower of London or Abbey Road studios invariably seeking the ghosts of John Lennon or Anne Boleyn, ghosts adjusted to taste. That being said, transportation and hotels are a huge cost for visitors. 6. Paris. Much like New York, Paris, France, has become a popular destination for many travelers. With a long history and an influential role in the shaping of both Europe and the New World, Paris has also earned a reputation as a city of romance. Helped by the city's quaint café culture, the French love of pastries, wine and chocolate, and images of the iconic Eiffel Tower lit up in night. Adding to the popular French city's appeal is the number of royal castles and lavish cathedrals, many dating from the Middle Ages, that offer history buffs, architecture enthusiasts, and even the average tourist an exciting sightseeing adventure. All of the popularity of Paris, however, has also culminated to the city becoming one of the world's most expensive tourist destinations. 5. Fiji. Contrary to common belief, Fiji isn't just one island, but actually a series of 332 islands. Fiji has become renowned as one of the best travel destinations in the South Pacific based on many reports, and as one of the most exclusive. Not only is the country regarded as a pristine island retreat with a keen sense of preservation of nature, it's renowned for its natural beauty and its remoteness. On this list, exclusivity and remoteness adds up to a recipe for an overpriced vacation stay. While you might be able to get to the main islands relatively cheaply, many of the smaller islands in the nation are actually privately owned, either by individuals or by resort companies, and most of them charge hefty amounts for a visit. 4. Tuscany. Few think of Tuscany when they think of visiting Italy, but those that do may find that lesser visited or out-of-the-way destinations aren't always a ticket to an affordable trip. Tuscany is one of the most expensive regions in Italy, despite the fact that more people visit cities like Rome, Naples, Florence, and Venice. Tuscany's appeal is its history, which stretches back to pre-Roman times. Many of the hotels aren't hotels at all, but ancient villas that have been converted into lavish suites for rich tourists. For those who want to get away from the tourist traps that many other Italian cities have become, Tuscany is a welcome relief, but its price tag isn't much different than places like Rome or Florence. 3. Bora Bora. This tiny island in French Polynesia burns a big hole in many visitors' pockets. Although the island is beautiful and offers a luxurious experience, Bora Bora attracts its fair share of celebrities, business elite and political magnates. Unless your heart is set on Bora Bora in particular, you can choose from a number of lesser-known islands in French Polynesia, many of which have lower rates due to decreased demand and a less developed tourist reputation. That also means you can beat the crowds, which is almost like having your own private island for half the cost. If it must be Bora Bora, be sure to look for all-inclusive vacation deals and hotels that offer discounted rates if you book multiple nights. You can also visit during the off-season, between December and March, to score better rates. 2. Dubai. Much talk has been said of Dubai in the past decade or so. This Middle Eastern hotspot has become a mecca of modern excess, which, of course, has made it popular with travelers who have money to burn. Financed by oil wealth, Dubai was developed by the rich for the rich as a playground for those who can afford it. From man-made islands to the luxurious Burj Al Arab and soaring towers, Dubai is all about spending money. If you're on a tight budget, you're going to want to steer clear of this destination. In fact, most of Dubai's economy is centered on money or conspicuous consumption. Although the city boasts scenic coastline and a desert oasis, there is little to do outside of spending money in large shopping centers or on expensive outings, such as day trips on yachts or renting a helicopter. The entire experience, even if you have the funds, feels a little bit empty, especially since many of the people who are living there are temporary workers longing to return home. Dubai lacks the culture and character that makes so many other expensive destinations appealing. 1. Oslo. Norway's capital is scenic and delightful, filled with Scandinavian charm and still reminiscent of the Norwegians' Viking history. Rows upon rows of colorful houses and the proximity of scenic mountain vistas and the famous fjords can easily take your breath away. Like its other Scandinavian counterparts, Oslo tends to be clean and safe, and most of the population speaks almost fluent English, which can make it easy for the inexperienced tourist to get around and explore. That said, Norway is notoriously known as Scandinavia's and Northern Europe's most expensive country. Although the country is rich in oil and its citizens are relatively well off, the higher wages and relative wealth of the country has contributed to service sectors and tourist industries that charge about 20% more than anywhere else in Western Europe, and a whopping 70% higher than world averages. It's no wonder that Oslo is ranked as the world's most expensive city. Thanks for watching the video. If you like it, then subscribe to my YouTube channel for more informative videos.